All right, music fans, welcome Harmless. Here again, talking about real music in real time for, I don't know, maybe one or two real people out there just like you right there, just like me right here. All right, so if you are in England today, you're mourning the Queen, and I believe the Queen will be put to rest today after many days. So again, my condolences go out to the Brits who have pretty much nothing to look forward to at this point. Sorry. I mean, King Charles, come on. King Charles. Oh, I'm still ticked off about what happened to Princess Diana. Anyway, so classic rock as an industry, right? Or music from the past, or music we once listened to, right? And maybe we're still kind of interested in, but we don't all hold on waiting for every scrap of material from the past to be unearthed and given to us. We don't do that because we'd like to move on. But the music industry decided back in 1991, September of 1991. We'll use that as a particular starting point for the end of what was good about music. It took a little time for that to fully take effect, because when you introduce a new form and you promote it as the greatest thing since Beethoven and Mozart, you do that and then things tend to unravel. So it certainly did what it was supposed to do. But the classic rock websites, right? The people who purport to be interested in classic rock, they are not interested in anything new that sounds like classic rock. You know, we used to have this slogan at the radio station I worked at, very successful radio station, by the way. Back in the late 1980s, we had a liner on the radio station that said, "It doesn't need to be old to be a classic." And that was a pretty good idea, because we were playing new stuff that sounded like classic rock, right? But the classic rock people of today, who, by the way, have incorporated bands like Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, the Foo Fighters into their classic rock orbit. You know, it's kind of like I think of a planet with gravitational pull, and here come these bands circling, like the Foo Fighters and Stone Temple Pilots and Alice in Chains and Pearl Jam. Oh, I love Pearl Jam. They're so Pearl Jammy. Yeah, all of those bands, right, are in the classic rock orbit. But anybody new who comes along who kind of has that sound, they're kind of ignored. They're not really given all that much attention, which is kind of tragic. And I realized this during the during the reading of an article that I did. It was like a classic reading of the article. It's like a reading according to Dave. No, it wasn't that. But let me just give you the gist of this, right? So it's kind of interesting. These are the headlines, right? The month of October. So we've got a Beatles expanded and remastered Revolver with Giles Martin, who is the son of George Martin, who is going to remix Beatles songs. Yeah, that's what I want. I don't want those original perfect versions of Beatles songs. What I need is remixed and reconstituted Beatles songs. Like the originals weren't amazing on their own. It's kind of like, going to a sacred burial ground and messing up the cemetery, just like screwing it up. Okay, I don't like this place. I'm going to build a monument over here. No, don't do that. All right, Red Hot Chili Peppers. This is next month, right? So the Chili's have a second album coming out within a year. I like Rick Rubin. He's the producer. I don't like the fact that they have 2 albums in 1 year. Here's the deal. Red Hot Chili Peppers, do I like them? Yeah. Do I love them? No, I don't. Never have. Played them in college when nobody knew who they were. Dead Men Don't Kill. Was it Dead Men Don't Kill Coyotes or something like that? Real Men. I think it was Real Men Don't Kill Coyotes. That was one of the songs that the record label EMI said you should play that, and we did, and I still don't like the song. So the Cult, who are not really a classic rock band, yeah, they're doing something. That's all I know. Todd Rundgren, he's releasing Space Force, which is probably mocking Donald Trump. That's probably what it is. Or it's it's Todd Rundgren's Space Force will be released more than a year after he initially announced the project. So it's a project. It's like Todd Rundgren's spatial time continuum, right? Anyway, Skid Row, the gang's all here. They got a new singer. I like him. He's cool. That's almost classic rock news, almost. Lou Reed, an archival series focusing on the work and artistry of Lou Reed. Take a walk on the wild side. When's the last time you've heard Lou Reed on the radio? By the way, a very inappropriate song. Even back in the day, I would listen to that and go, wow, I can't believe this is on the radio. I don't care for Lou Reed. The Velvet Underground, though, they're in... I'm sure, isn't Lou Reed and the Velvet Underground both in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I mean, everything associated with Lou Reed should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And if it's not, well, let's hurry up and get it in there. Because, you know, counterculture, what's the rationale? I'm not sure. But anyway, Peter Gabriel, Iggy Pop, James Taylor, and Mavis Staples are all part of an all-star cast on Here It Is, a tribute to Leonard Cohen. Leonard Cohen, that classic rock icon. In Excess unveils the previously unreleased Live at the U.S. Festival, 1983. Great time, by the way, to be an In Excess fan, as I was at the time. But the people who are responsible for digging up these live performances, right? And then issuing them out and saying, here you go. If you like In Excess, here is an unreleased live performance. You got to hand it to them for hitting play and record back in the day, because that's what they did. They figured, we'll record this. The label, they might not do anything with it, but we'll hit play and record and we'll see what happens. And now, 40 years later, literally 39 years later, which is, by the way, kind of insane to think about. I've been around for this long. You know what, folks? Don't really care all that much. I'm just letting you know. For more information on pending rock albums, you can click on a link. And then you can watch Give Me Mercy by The Cult. Not sure if it's classic rock. And then you can also watch The Gang's All Here by Skid Row, right? Here are some of the classic rock releases. Alter Bridge, Blue October, Brian Eno, Chris Isaak. Everybody knows it's Christmas. Okay. Dean Torrance, Jan Berry, Harry Nilsson, Leon Russell, who is pretty cool, Flo and Eddie. So it's called The Teammates, 20 Years of Making Music, and it includes Mike Love. Okay, that's not a top tier thing. Frank Zappa, Zappa 75, it's a 2 CD set. Duran Duran, Medazzaland, 25th Anniversary Edition, Leonard Cohen, Hallelujah, and the songs from his albums, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Skid Row, Todd Rundgren, and various artists. Here it is, a tribute to Leonard Cohen. And it goes on. I'm not really impressed. There's a Neil Diamond Christmas album. Various artists climb about my roundabout, the British Toy Town Sound, 1967 through 1974. It's a 3 CD set, includes The Kinks, Jeff Lynne's Idle Race, Gilbert O'Sullivan, and the Spencer Davis Group. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of it for the month of October. I guess there is always something to talk about, but I don't find any of that all that interesting. I did hear a song by this band called Killer Kings today. Killer Kings. Song is called Higher. It was released today. Their album, I believe, is coming out in October, along with all of these great classic rock releases, right? Nobody's talking about it, and I kind of understand why. I really do. The reason is that the old folks want to hold on to what's old, and some old folks would like to continue and actually kind of get into some new material, maybe a new artist here or there. You know what I mean? Maybe. Just do something a little bit different with their life and not wait for leftover Lou Reed material. You know what I mean? So that's just me. You can go listen to the Killer Kings and their new song, Higher. It has been released on all the usual platforms, and their album called Burn for Love is available sometime in October. So yeah, while you're going to buy the tribute to Leonard Cohen, maybe you can patronize the folks over at Frontiers Music and grab a copy of the new Killer Kings album. That's all I'm saying here. You know, it's getting pretty frustrating, hoping and praying that the music industry will somehow get its head out of its collective butt and start to maybe promote the future rather than like it's kind of like sifting the past and looking for little tiny gold nuggets here and there. I mean, it's all the leftover stuff. It's kind of like residue, you know, you eat all of the mac and cheese and then there's just a little bit left on the bottom of the whatever, of the bowl or the pan, and you're kind of trying to scrape it out. That's what they're doing now. That's what they're doing now. And it's really pathetic. And by the way, even though classic rock radio outlets and websites report on this stuff, nobody plays any of it. Nobody's going to go and play a Lou Reed reissue or something. Are radio stations going to add the remixed versions of Beatles songs from Revolver? Yeah, that would be really pathetic. If you're not playing original Beatles songs, then you're committing sacrilege, all right? Just play the Beatles as they and George Martin recorded them. That's it. Pretty simple. All right, people. This has been kind of a weird rant. I'm glad you're watching the channel. Don't forget to subscribe to it. Hit the bell for notifications on new videos like this one, and Patreon for $1 a month if you want to call me out on my crazy video here. Then you can go over to Patreon and sign up, and then you and I can go back and forth and have a nice friendly dialogue the way it's supposed to be. All right, see you soon.